Hello everyone, this is Joel coming to you from North Central Ohio. I want to do a different kind of video. You guys may be used to seeing me doing some product testing, different ceramic coatings. This video I want to kind of introduce myself, tell my background a little bit, but then get into me here in February of 2025, getting legit and actually starting a true and legal detailing business. I'm a full-time auto worker here in North Central Ohio, and I have in the last couple of years gotten very proficient and built up a great little fan base of friends and customers here in the area that I can make money detailing and do a good job at it. But I want to be legal. I want to be able to take credit cards that will help my sales. I want to collect sales tax, pay sales tax, and get all of those things to be legal so that I don't always have to feel like somebody's looking over my shoulder and saying, what is this guy doing over here in this residential neighborhood? And get myself in trouble or get fined or something like that. I am 53 years old. I'm actually getting close to having 30 years of service in the auto plant that I work up here in Ohio. And my dream is to be able to retire and collect a pension, and then years later Social Security, but get a pension and supplement my income with auto detailing so that I don't have to drive back and forth to work and just deal with sitting in a factory all day. I want to be home working in my garage and enjoying the weather and making customers smile. So I've been detailing for a long time, but I wouldn't say that I actually started becoming pro till after COVID. Before that, I would dabble in retailing some detailing products, a waterless car wash, some metal polish, leather cleaners, interior cleaners, things like that, at some small bike nights and car shows occasionally, and it was just a side hobby. Well, when COVID hit, everything got shut down, as you guys know, and I said, I really want to learn about ceramic coatings, because before that, I didn't believe all the hype. I want to learn about wet sanding, scratches, or polishing paint, rejuvenating it, wheel coatings, everything that you can imagine with detailing. But I always loved it. Ever since I was a young kid, my neighborhood friends all made fun of me when I was younger. We all had Honda four-wheeler, the Four-Trax 125. You guys remember that? Comment below if you ever had one. Growing up in the mid-late 80s as a teenager, we all rode around on the four-wheelers. But here's OCD Joel to its finest. I got a brand new red four-wheeler, and in that little trunk on the back fender, I had a shop rag and a bottle of Armor All. We would, no lie, stop in the trails and I would be wiping on the plastics of that ATV. They made fun of me, deservedly so. I've always been kind of a little obsessed with keeping my own things clean. I can't control maybe a whole home where my family grew up, brothers and sisters, my mom and dad, but I could keep my bedroom pretty clean. And then when I come home, it's clean because nobody else messed it up. Same thing with my vehicles. I could baby them and take care of them and just keep them looking new as long as possible. So I've always been fixated with shiny things, cars, paint, glossiness, all of that stuff. I would be curious to see in your comments below, when you clicked with you that you were going to be an auto detailer or a weekend warrior or a hobbyist with it, put that comment below on what kind of got you started becoming a detailer. So towards the beginning of the year, I said, man, this might be a good time if I'm going to try to go legit. I'm a little hesitant, but if I'm going to go legit, now's a great time. I can be tracking my expenses. That's another reason that I want to become a business. So products and everything I'm buying with detailing, I can make those tax deductible. I'm going to put in the comments, I'm not going to do all the editing and post each bullet point here, but I'll put in the comments a checklist of things that I have found so far in order pretty much to starting the business and where I am. I don't have all of these things done yet, but I'm getting very close. If you have anything you'd like to add, I want this to be a back and forth between my viewers. If you've started a detailing business at home, out in your garage or shed or something like that, share your experience below on things that maybe I don't mention. You can help me out here in 2025. But this video is geared to those that are wanting to start a home-based business where they live. I live in a very nice residential neighborhood and want to supplement their income and do it legally in the state of Ohio. I did not do an LLC, so I'll get to that right away. yes, that will protect you in liability if you're going to get sued, but I don't plan on getting sued, and I have done enough details through the years. I know what kind of work I'm doing. I'm not going to mess up like somebody's whole home or destroy all the paint on their vehicle. I know what I'm doing enough that hopefully there's never a lawsuit, but to me, a sole proprietorship is very, very simple to start. It's a little bit cheaper, and it's very easy to do my taxes at the end of the year. I'll just go in to my tax advisor, show them my things I've spent money on, how much I made, do a Schedule C that will just attach to my 1040 that my wife and I do every year filing jointly. And I don't think it's a real big deal, but we'll see come next year tax time. And I'll try to do updates like this occasionally, what I've found, or maybe hurdles that I've come across. So look in the future, subscribe to my channel if you like this kind of content, because if you see this kind of thumbnail of me sitting at my desk, it's going to be about the business later. So if you see an update video later about a coding, just ignore it. But if you want to know the business stuff that I'm going through to get some experience for yourself, click on those videos later. The thumbnail will look kind of like what you're looking at right now. So again, the reason I didn't do an LLC, no employees. In my neighborhood, I have to work by myself, or only members of the household can run the business. Easy filing, easy taxes. So easy filing means to start the business is very cheap and expensive. Low cost, low risk. So I'll run through this and I'll do about a 30-second, couple minutes talk on each bullet point real quick, but I'll kind of get to where I am. So very first, make yourself a home office. I just set this up in the last couple weeks. I'll get a laptop. This is an old laptop I use. It gets the job done for getting online and doing documents. I have a printer that I can send my documents to, a little file cabinet here. But start by getting yourself organized and get an office space, which we'll find. I think I can even write off some of that in my taxes. Maybe this whole room or the section of the house that I'm using for business. Let me know in your experience if you've come across that, how that works. Besides just my expenses, I think you can deduct some of your utilities or, my water bill. I'll try to figure out how to use that. So things like that. So put in the comments below if you have any tips. I've already started tracking my purchases. I will immediately print the receipt for those purchases so I don't get backlogged through much of the year, especially as it gets busier in the spring and summer. And I'll put those in a stack. And on each one, I write the date, the amount, and the item up in the corners just to help me kind of keep track and organized. I have a little Excel spreadsheet app on my phone that connects to the cloud and also goes to my laptop. So on my Excel spreadsheet, I'm not opting to pay for any software right now, but I can just track my expenses and then details that I have, income, and kind of keep those tracked after each job or after each purchase. The very first thing I did to really get the ball rolling, because I have been using a business name in the past to refer clients or whatever on my Facebook. Even though I wasn't an official business, you need a business card or some social media to pull in some kind of business. So in the last couple years, I've looked at it as training or get enough experience to then actually start a business. We all start somewhere. You're not going to say, I'm going to try a lawn mowing business and immediately go get everything licensed and everything else. You're going to do that for a while to generate some income and see if you can actually turn it into a business, which I have. Very first thing I did is went on the Ohio Secretary of State. It was only $39 to register my trademark name. So that is my business name. I did a search, which comes right up. Search the name. Nobody's using it in Ohio. Registered that, and within like one business day, they emailed me and said, you are approved to conduct business in the state of Ohio, because I put my social security number and everything, register everything. It'll have a quick description of what type of business you're doing. And that secured that name. So now I can run with that name, and I think I have to renew that filing for that trademark name every 5 years, if I believe. So from there, go get your business cards, maybe make some t-shirts, immediately do some before and afters, and maybe some example pricing on a Facebook page. It's free, it's easy. And I love being able to do a job for a customer, especially if they're brand new to me. Ask them when they're done, hey, is it okay if I tag you on Facebook and show some pictures of your car? That will blow up, because especially if it's somebody it's a Harley group or motorcycle group, or somebody in a big family, a bunch of family and friends on Facebook, and they love their vehicle. If they see somebody they know is really happy with a new servicer like myself doing the detailing, I will get recommendations through that way. Still working on this, but I want to be able to add that business name. I check with my credit union. That's kind of my business checking account. So start yourself an account that you can kind of do your purchasing through as far as a checking account. But also if somebody were to write you a check to that business, you can go cash it. So I'm going to assign that trademark name to a checking account so that if they write that, I can go in and cash it and deposit it. Maybe start yourself a separate credit card that you'll use for all your purchases. It will make things a little bit easier to track. We already talked about the Facebook. Now this is very important. A garage keeper's insurance policy. Even as my side hustle, before I became legit, I had garage keeper's insurance to cover if I were to damage that motorcycle or vehicle, or if somebody were to get hurt in the driveway. Mine cost about $41.67 a month. I'm with a company called Safe Harbor up here in North Central Ohio. They are the agent, I guess, that went and got me the insurance. It's pretty cool because my homeowner's insurance is through Westfield. The garage keepers ended up being through Westfield also. I heard a quote a couple years ago and I'll never forget it. If you are working on somebody else's vehicle, whether you're a mechanic or whatever, you want to have insurance in case something bad happens. I know if I am up on a step ladder, I'm trying to reach the top of somebody's truck or car, maybe I slip and go into the hood and do a big dent. I don't want to pay for that out of pocket. So let me know if you've had any experience filing a claim and how it went for you, or maybe you damaged somebody's vehicle. Please share that below, and so we can all learn from your experience. But it's a peace of mind that nothing's ever happened out of the many, many motorcycles, cars, trucks that I detail. It's there in case something happens. My big one is doing Harley Davidson motorcycles. I will put those up in the air on a jack. Hopefully I never drop one. A lot of times when the customer pulls in with it, I'll have him put it in neutral. I'll have him check me and watch me. We'll raise it together to make sure it's balanced. But that can get a little dicey, I understand. So, but have garage keeper's insurance. The next one, and one of the big reasons or deterrents maybe that I didn't jump into this sooner, I think I'm going to kick myself that I didn't get into a pro or legal business sooner, is I was worried what the local zoning would say if I'm running a business here at my residential neighborhood. So kind of one of the first things I did, and shout out to Ivan LaCroix with DIY Detail. I put in an email to them and asked, hey, Ivan, if you get a second, I really trust your opinion. I'd like to pick your brain for a couple of minutes about starting a legal, legit business. And he gave me some good pointers. He said, you even go into your zoning office here in the township and ask, hey, I'm thinking about starting a business. I'm thinking about, it's kind of hard to avoid the word detailing, but you could say anything to kind of pick their brain. But going to be honest, I said, hey, it was kind of neat. One of the girls I actually knew there, she's a friend of my daughter. She came out of the office, so it was great. I was much more comfortable talking. But first thing I said is, do people in my township have like home businesses that they work out of their garage and stuff? She said, oh yeah, and right away she gave me a paper. It's called a conditional use permit. It's a couple $100 for me to do the application, but I believe I turned that in, and I think sometime in March I will go in front of the zoning board. And if they have any questions about it, they'll verify my information and what I plan to do with that permit. Right in the provisions of the zoning, there's lots of zoning stuff, pages and hundreds of pages. But the conditional use permit, just making sure that you're not going to change the appearance of your home. You can't have bright lights or super loud equipment, vibrations, noise, fumes. So I put right in my permit application that I'm running a small shop vac, a small electric pressure washer, things that everybody else is going to have in their garage. I'm not doing anything out of the ordinary as far as equipment. They also want to make sure you're not going to have extra traffic that is really above ordinary for the neighborhood. Well, in my case, I put right in there part-time. It'll be like more of a weekend project. It's never more than 1 or 2 vehicles at my home. I'm only working on one at a time, and there might be the second vehicle in the driveway on the street. But I don't have tons of traffic going in and out. So they don't want you to be disturbing the neighbors. Now here's the real big key. Once you do the permit, they're going to put something in the paper, a notice about this new business or me coming up at the zoning board meeting. But the neighbors within 200 feet are each going to get a letter saying they're going to have an opportunity to meet the same night that I will with the zoning board if they have any objections to this. We'll see if anybody comes, but they're making sure that your neighbors are aware of the business you're going to be doing, that you'll be conducting. But I don't think it's going to be a problem because I've been doing this for a while and I actually do some of the neighbors' cars. So we'll see, fingers crossed. That will be the next big final step for me. Everything else, the paperwork has gone very smoothly. So let's move along. If you have any questions about anything, please put them below. I will answer your questions. So after the permit, I already got the conditional use application in. To be upfront with you, it's $350. It's not cheap. I'm not sure when it expires. I was trying to read the language on it. It might be every 2 years, or it might just not expire until they find that you're in a violation or you cancel the business or whatever. But if you're familiar with it, comment below, but I will let you know what I find out later. Start a credit card service for $59. I ordered a square reader so people can put their cards in it, that I can take their credit card purchases. And then I already have it built in to put in the 6.75% sales tax, whatever the amount for the service that I'll put in there, it'll automatically put in the sales tax. They can pay cash, several different credit cards, and then it can also email them or text them a receipt. So it'll be very interesting to see how that works. But I'm so excited about it because I feel like I can get, a lot of people don't carry cash with them or whatever. I feel like I can charge for the higher dollar services and just generate more revenue for the business this year. So we'll see how it works. You want to start a website if you're interested in that. Wix, I think, is like a website server. I'm not doing that right now. I think it's about $17 a month if I read it correctly. That will secure your URL or business website. But I get enough attention doing part-time through Facebook and word of mouth that I don't really need a website, and I don't want to add any additional cost being in the beginning here that I have to. So I'm trying to keep things as inexpensive as possible. I've already have most of my equipment and products through the years that I've accumulated for myself. To be honest, in the last couple of years, a lot of the details I do for friends and family, neighbors, is just kind of putting money back in to pay for everything because I love, part of this business is love the techniques, the chemicals, the processes, the Tornador blow guns, trying different air guns, different brushes, getting hair out. I've been a sucker for buying a lot of equipment. I have several different polishers, but I think I got everything kind of dialed in. So really all I'm doing is not a whole lot of equipment, but just buying replacement chemicals or microfiber towels that I will go through. In Ohio, you'll go on to the business gateway and set up an ID through there, and then any Ohio-based government branches you'll access through that. You'll be adding apps basically through the gateway. I added the taxation department to my OHID business gateway apps, and I went into the taxation department and started a vendor's license, because in the state of Ohio, if you're selling a product or a service, there's only a couple that are excluded. You need to charge sales tax. So you have the state tax of, I think it's 5.75, and then wherever your county is, which in mine is another percent. So I pay 6.75% total, and I keep all these documents in a safe file that I could quickly grab. But very easy to start a vendor's license. So I have that paperwork. I have my business license, state of Ohio, my sales tax, working on a permit. I have insurance, able to take credit cards. So far everything's going very well. When you do set up, mine is set up for monthly, and I have not done it yet because I just started. So I haven't started to have to pay sales tax. If you're doing it, let me know the process. I know they changed the website. It's kind of complicated, I heard. But every month, even if I have 0 sales, you need to get on there and claim 0 sales and input any tax that you collected, which would be 0. If you go a couple months and don't log in, I believe, and put in your sales tax or what you've collected, you're going to get a steep penalty or overcharge that they're looking for, and then you'll have to go through appealing it so you don't have to pay it. But they'll think you're getting X amount. You just forgot, but they're going to hit you up a bill basically on there, and you'll have to go through some steps to get it taken care of. So even if you have 0 sales, file your sales tax through the gateway and the taxation department. Oh, back up a step. The vendor's license was only $25. I think I have to renew that every year. And then the last thing I have is register for Google Business. And I haven't done a lot of advertising because I want to make sure. I think my next big step is with the zoning department. If I get my zoning permit, which before I forget, this is so cool. I think I can have, once I get my zoning permit, I can put a non-lighted, no neon or nothing, just a 2x2 yard sign indicating my business in the front lawn. There's so many people that walk in this neighborhood when the weather's nice. I think that will get me some business too. So before I forgot, I wanted to mention that. But I didn't want to do too much with Google Business or trying to draw in maybe ceramic coating customers until I'm actually finalized and legit. I think that kind of covers my checkpoint bulletin list so far. Like I said, I'll put those in the description. As you give me pointers or something else that somebody should put, I'll go in and edit that description. So there might be more later as time goes by that's on this list. Thanks for watching. I know this was a 20-some minute video. My name is Joel, North Central Ohio. Passion is auto detailing for sure. Would like to keep doing this as long as my body will hold up through the years. We know detailing is tough, isn't it, guys and girls? Especially the nasty interiors. I really like to get away from real nasty interiors and really just do polishing and ceramic coatings. That's really where my wheelhouse is. Nothing with PPF yet, nothing with window tinting. We have a great local shop here that does window tinting. They're fabulous. So if somebody wants that, I'll send them there. And maybe I'll dabble in PPF at some point down the road, but that's a big expense. And you really need, even picking Ivan's brain about it, you almost really need 2 people if you're doing hoods and larger sections. My wife doesn't really care about auto detailing. I wish she did, but she doesn't. Love her to death. All right, guys, if you have any questions, please put them below. Thank you for watching and being patient. And if you see this thumbnail in the future, it will be the business aspect of detailing. All right, guys, take care. Have a good beginning of 2025.